Hello and welcome. Co-Learning Launch presents Fantasy Team of the Day. We have a big game today between the Delhi Capitals and the team from Hyderabad. It'll be interesting to see because there's one team with almost negative momentum and the other team that's just racing away, having five continuous wins under their belt. The team from Delhi will, although they did very well in the start of the season and finished top two in the table, have not looked the same team since. It will be interesting to see what happens in this game. What we'll be doing here is we'll give you a fantasy team that you can pick for all the different fantasy leagues that you play. What we'll be doing is that we'll give you 15 players and we'll also suggest that these are the 11 players that could make a team that you can have in your fantasy leagues. The 15 is so that you can have alternatives. So suppose you think one of the players that we've suggested will not potentially do well, you can replace that player with another. All right. So let's get straight into it. The fantasy team 11 for DC versus SRH. We have wicket keepers. We have Rishabh Pant. Now, why Rishabh Pant? Because you potentially have only two or three options to pick from because you will have Pant, you will have Riddhiman Saha, you will have Shrivats Goswami. You will have one of Goswami or Saha play. Saha is not in the scheme of things for this selection because Saha was injured last time, and we're not sure if he's fit yet to play this game, which is why Pant makes it because Shrivats Goswami got a duck last time and he's not been the uh, best batsman. He's not been among the top batsmen anyway in IPL history, which is why we've gone with Pant. However, Saha has been doing really well, and if he plays, you must certainly have consider him to be in your team. Also, this is a good time to remind you all that we have a IPL community. You will find the link in the description. There's a Telegram group, there's a WhatsApp group, etc. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, etc. Where what we do is after the toss, if there are any changes or based on who's batting first, who's batting second, and what the commentators have said about the pitch, we make slight changes in the team uh, to better suit that particular match. So you can follow us there to get those updates as well. So things like if Saha comes in, what do you do? That is when that is helpful. So you can please join us there. You will find the link in the description. All right, moving on to batsmen. So there are six batsmen out here. There's Warner, Williamson, Rahane, Shreyas Iyer, Manish Pandey, and Shikhar Dhawan. Out of these, we've picked Warner, Williamson, Rahane, and Manish Pandey. This and then Shreyas Iyer, Shikhar Dhawan miss out. So Shikhar Dhawan has been one of Delhi's best batsmen this season. He scored two centuries and all that. But of the 14 knockout games he's played in IPL history, he averages 14, uh, which is and he has a highest score of 34. So those are very unimpressive numbers. And his recent form as well hasn't been the best because if you see the last 4 5 games he's played, he's hardly he got 150. The game that Rahane and him pulled out while chasing. That's the only 50 he's got in the last 5 games, which is why Shikhar Dhawan misses out. And then there is Shreyas Iyer again, who started the tournament really well, played that blinder of an innings of about 80 at Sharjah, etc. But then even he has kind of lost form, which is why he misses out. Rahane has actually uh, been on and off, so he scored 250s, and then he's also had two ducks. So it's a pretty mixed bag. But if there was one batsman you could trust in a slowish Abu Dhabi pitch, it could be Rahane because he has the technique and the temperament to play a longish innings, and it's not it's not expected to be a high scoring encounter, which is why we've picked Rahane. And then the three SRH batsmen who have done well all season, that's Warner, Williamson, Pandey, and because it's a slowish track, you may expect that a few wickets will fall. So, which is why we've picked three of those. So, although it may look like it's not in balance, so you have three against one. Uh, it is purely based on who is in form and who is not. And if you look at Delhi, they've had consistent batting collapses in the last week or so, which is why these are the batsmen we pick. And then we have Jason Holder, the big man from West Indies, and he's done really well since his arrival. If you look at his numbers, he's picked about on an average he's picked 2 wickets every game, and he's also contributed with the bat. So he's got a 26 against the he got 26 the last time, and then he got 24 again, which is why he's also playing the finisher's role, which is why Jason Holder is an immediate automatic pick, both for his bowling and his batting. And then there is Toynis. Toynis actually looked really good with the bat, and on a slowish track, his off cutters can also get you some wickets, which is why Toynis is a very good pick. Okay, then we have then we come to bowlers. So there's Sandeep Sharma, Nautya, then there is Ashwin, Natarajan, and Rabada. Of these, we've picked Sandeep Sharma because he's been doing really well in the power play of late. He's been one of SRH's revelations this season. Although he's always done well, if you look at his career numbers, they are very similar to that of Jasprit Bumrah. So he's kind of an underrated, under the radar kind of bowler. But then he is effective because he knows his strength. He gets some swing early on, so that can trouble batsmen as well. And then he's got those cutters and the knuckle ball at the end to restrict people at the death and to probably even get some wickets. So Sandeep Sharma makes it to the team. Then you have Nautya. Enrique Nautya again bowled the fastest ball of the tournament earlier this season, and he's actually looked pretty good. And although Delhi's bowling has not been in the best of rhythms of late, with like they heavily relied on Rabada and Nautya as their pace battery to get a lot of uh, teams under trouble early on in the tournament. But ever since, if you look at it, they've kind of tapered off. But even then, Naughty has been consistently picking at least 1 wicket every game, which is why Naughty has been picked ahead of Rabada. Rabada, since the last time DC and SRH played was the first time in 27 games that Rabada went wicketless. And since that, he's had only one game where he picked wickets. Otherwise, he's been pretty ordinary, which is why we've picked Naughty ahead of Rabada. Then this R Ashwin, who's actually been doing really well in the last couple of games, and the fact that his the Abu Dhabi track is slowing down, he can he can pick some wickets. And again, so against Warner against Ashwin will be a very interesting matchup because the left-hander on a slowish Abu Dhabi track with some turn. Although traditionally, if you look at all Abu Dhabi games, you'll find that pacers have had more success than spinners. But we've seen what Ashwin can do, and off late he's been doing really well, which is why Ashwin makes it to the team. Again, Natarajan misses out just because the others are too good to be left out. But Natarajan is a very good pick as well. Yorkers at the end gets him wickets. He picked 2 wickets last time as well on the same ground. So Natarajan is someone you must consider, but misses out just because the others rated higher on our data-driven model. Then we come to Rashid Khan. Okay, so Rashid Khan again. It was a dilemma trying to figure out if between Rashid Khan and Rabada. But if you look at it, Rashid Khan has picked 6 wickets in the 2 games that these two teams have played so far in this season, and then Rashid Khan also does well in knockout games. The problem was that in Abu Dhabi, it's a more pace friendly wicket, or so it had seemed earlier in the season. But the last game that happened, the eliminator, we saw that the track had slowed down considerably, and that could be because the track has been used for so long. Which is why Rashid Khan makes it to the 11. His leg spin can be of real use against a very weak-ish batting lineup, because I won't call them a weak batting lineup, but an out-of-form batting lineup. And Rashid specializes in troubling batsmen who are not in very good touch, etc. And he chokes the middle order, and there are a couple of expressive batsmen in the middle order, which is why this makes a very good matchup. And Rashid Khan is will hopefully come out as the winner in these matchups. Okay, so that's our team for today. Please let us know in the comment section if you think there are any changes that we can make to this, and we'll try to tell you why we've not considered those particular players based on stats and the data-driven model. Also, I'll just remind you all about the Kaggle competition that we'll be having after the end of the IPL. So do follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn if you would be interested in the Kaggle competition about the data driven model. That's it. Okay, so coming to our pro tip, what's the pro tip for today? So the pro tip is that try and pick informed players who do well in knockouts for these knockout games. So you'll generally see that there are players who do well in the league stages, and then there are big game players that generally do well in knockouts. So there's Manish Pandey from the 2014 final. You look at Ravi Ashwin, you'll remember the 2013 Champions Trophy. You'll remember the 2011 qualifier against RCB. You can immediately associate these people with their impact performances in big games. So try and pick players like those. Uh, a bad example would be Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli, you'll generally see is does very well in the league stages of any tournament, but may not have the best performances at the final stages. So things like that. So when you're picking teams for your knockout games, try to pick big game players or people who are known to do well under pressure. So that's the pro tip for today. Thank you for joining us throughout the season. We have one more game left, the big game final. Hope to see you all then. So if you hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon, you will know when we go live before the final. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.